Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Absolutely. That is Sal. I am Dan. Absolutely is brought to you by Gamersubs, where you can go to gamersubs/comics. Use code COMICS. Save money when you buy energy drinks from them, as well as Into the AM. Use code Absolutely. You can get crazy soft, crazy nice shirts. I love wearing my lion one. I'm not wearing it today because I kind of wore it every day this weekend. I definitely need to watch that. Anyway, we're going to jump in today. We are talking about Ezra Miller, James Gunn, the future of DC, where we have the best news ever that James Gunn was asked in passing whether or not...
at a competitor's event.
Whether or not Ezra Miller was going to be a part of the DC universe going forward. Now, set the stage for this. Everyone, and I literally mean everyone, everything that I have seen has said Flashpoint is one of the best superhero movies that anyone has ever seen ever.
Oh my God, what hype? Why would they do that to themselves? But also, like, they're so hyped. Now,
they are so confident in that they are letting people watch it early and say it. Like,
it's not even done. Something. They're not even done with all the effects yet. They're just showing it everywhere. People are like, well, I wasn't finished with this, but it was still amazing. And I'm like, what? Now, one should temper one's expectations when it comes to the people who are saying these things. One, anyone with any authority who's saying it are people who work there. Two, anyone who doesn't work there who's saying that was flown there, given accommodations, got to meet stars, and got to have free this delicious food.
Yep.
It skews opinions.
As someone that has been to one of those things, it
definitely
skews you because you go, I'm not saying the movie was amazing. I'm saying this entire experience was amazing for me, and I want them to invite me back.
I don't want to seem ungrateful.
Exactly. But they did come out and say this anyway, and James Gunn responded with, we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. That's hardcore confirmation. That means that Ezra Miller is definitely going to be the Flash for at least the next 10 movies. They're going to be here. They're not going anywhere. You just buckle up and get used to the fact that a criminal is going to be a star in a number of movies, which includes the greatest superhero movie ever made. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait and see? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said, we'll wait and see.
Oh, that actually is a lot less committal than I thought it was. That sounds actually more like he either knows and doesn't want to tell or doesn't have any idea.
It's to me, when I saw that, what went in my head was they're going to have accountants and they're going to be behind the scenes. And once they have that first weekend box office gross, they're going to go, okay, let's do the math. Right. How much did it cost us to do damage control, pay for lawyers, pay for the entire situation of Ezra Miller and what they did versus how much the movie made? Did the movie make enough over that to warrant going, okay, yeah, it still made money and we can still do this? Because in terms of saying, oh, we're working with criminals and stuff like that, I'd say it. We've got plenty of criminals or people have done terrible things in movies. It happens. They're people. Yeah. They're not everyone's great. A lot of people are terrible people. Right. And that just sadly is the way that it goes. But if this movie, I think James Gunn is literally on the fence of if everyone perceives the movie as positively as everyone we have flown out and as I have and everything like that. Yeah. We'll keep them.
Right. I mean,
if it doesn't, if it bombs, we have created the perfect movie to write this actor out if we need to.
I mean, the reality is they can write them out no matter what. I genuinely think that this is a perfect opportunity for them to write the character out or the actor out, regardless of situation, because normally it's jarring, but like they recast Rachel Dawes, the main female lead in the entire Nolan movies of Batman, because they were annoyed. She didn't do anything wrong. But, you know, when it comes to this, it's just like you could tell they are all in because Ezra Miller's face is on all the merchandise. Like I remember hearing, I think it was a month or two ago, the rumor that there are a couple of executives at Warner Brothers that were like, Ezra Miller's not going anywhere. Like just straight up not going anywhere. And I got an email from DC because we make stuff on the internet talking about superheroes and stuff. So I got a notification from DC that was like, here's all the Flash merch that's coming out. There isn't a single scrap that doesn't have Ezra Miller's face on it. I'm like, oh, I get it. Not like I get it, I would do it. I'm saying I get it. They're like, you don't know how much money is invested in that kid's face.
Yeah.
On everything we're selling. The other thing is, and it's the Batman of all. Warner Brothers has never gotten over Batman 89. They've never gotten over how successful it was, how much of a phenomenon it was. I honestly think that Warner Brothers has been chasing the hype of Batman 1989 since 1989. And I think that part of the reason why they're like patting themselves in the back and giving each other reach arounds is because Batman 89 is in this movie. Right. I saw a TV ad for this movie in which the Flash logo morphed into the Batman logo. They are so on for this Batman movie because it was such a disproportionately successful movie. Yeah. They had no belief in it, and it was massive, and it became a cultural phenomenon. And they're like, and the people who run this company, they're the same people. So they're like, yeah, no, I remember how big it was, and I want that feeling again.
Yeah.
It's why Avi Arad still has a job. Because, like, I'm the guy who made the Spider-Man movie. Like, that's it. I'm the guy. I'm the guy who said Spider-Man should be movie. Let's make it. Like, they're just chasing that. So, like, there's two problems. They have Ezra Miller's face on all their merchandise, and they have a sickness about Batman 89. Yeah. And you put those two together, boom. It's a big problem. Or at least it is a big problem when you are morally culpable for this person's transgressions and their apparent lack of sympathy or empathy. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a smart move because, you know, Quentin Tarantino said that movies, like Marvel movies, superhero movies, do not create movie stars. I think he's wrong, but
I would say very wrong. Look at Robert Downey Jr. or literally any of those core original Avengers.
Right, but he has a point because movie stars meant you put the movie star in anything and the movie makes money. But Dr. Dolittle, but the Judge, but you know, like all these other movies that Robert Downey Jr. does not equal billion-dollar franchise.
Right.
It's just that he helped build a billion-dollar franchise, and the franchise is Marvel. I think that if you want to lean into that phenomenon, you go, the Flash is bigger than Ezra Miller. Hell, we got 5 Flashes.
Right.
Like, we could recast. We could say that they died or that they were captured. Hell, you could make the linchpin of the new DC movies. Where is Barry Allen? That's the whole thing. And then you find out the Anti-Monitor took them, and, you know, they're doing a thing. And then the Speed Force altered their face. Now it's somebody else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like you said, like there are other Flashes. Like Flash is one of those ones everyone's constantly going, oh, they could recast him. Grant Gustin. Like it's also Barry Allen. Like they could do that. Guys, we have other Flashes. Like you could very easily have Flashpoint happen. Barry comes back and he decides, I want to spend my life with Iris. Right. And I want to savor that time and not share it with being a superhero. Bring in Wally. You now have Barry as an option, but he's off the table. You're not worrying about people swapping him out. And you go, hey, Wally fans, which we know there's a lot of you. Mm-hmm. Here's Wally.
Yeah.
We've got a new character. We've got a new
actor. They're charismatic. They're fun and, you know, distinct. Mm-hmm. You're good.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like everyone has said, this is the perfect situation because yes, they did it. Honestly, I think DC's also kind of banking on the fact that people are going to watch it because of everything. Oh. Well, one, that they're not going to care, or two, they're going to watch it just because they know of all the bad things that Ezra Miller did, and they're like, well, I got to see that. I need to know, like, did he actually do this? Oh, I need to watch it so that I can tweet out angrily about, I can't believe they did this.
I'm boycotting. I genuinely, I think that there's the vast majority of movie-going people have no idea who Ezra Miller is.
Yeah.
And
we only know because we've been so hungry for news that that's been the only thing available to us. But people who don't care don't know.
They don't care. They don't care with a vengeance. Like, they don't care the way, like, I know there are people in the comments in the chat right now who are like, you'd have to be under a rock. There's no way that there are people who don't know who Ezra Miller is and what they did, or what, or one way or another, whether they like whether they believe what they did, whether they deny it. I'm just saying, like, no, you're wrong. The majority of the audience that's going to see The Flash has no idea who that person is. Maybe they might ask their nerd friend, who is this again? They're going to go, oh, they were in that Justice League movie. You know, the one you didn't like? Yeah, that one. That's it. That's all they're going to know.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like, apathy or lack of awareness can make Ezra Miller become a movie star.
Yeah.
Or not, if you ask Quentin Tarantino. Like, it could be that it makes Ezra Miller perceived to be integral to the franchise by the studio, but the studio not understanding, no one cares who's wearing these costumes.
Right.
But we all know that that's not true because, like, you know, if you were to put a new dude in the Captain America suit and Chris Evans is gone, not going to work.
Yeah.
I don't mean Anthony Mackie. I mean if you were to recast Steve Rogers.
Yes.
Like, if they did Secret Wars and they're like, we're going to go back in time and get Steve Rogers, and they bring him back and it's a different actor, people aren't going to be it. It's not going to work. Same deal for Iron Man. It's not going to work. But it's not like if I put Chris Evans in a movie, I'm going to make Captain America money.
Yeah.
Which we've seen because he's made several movies. And hell, I saw one advertised the other day and I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I never even heard of it.
In fact, actually, I could even go as far to say as, like, the movie star, it's a reverse effect if they get too big in something, because it's also like Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
You go see these other movies and you don't see them acting. You see Steve Rogers. You see Harry Potter. Like, you don't see the actor. You see the character that they have become synonymous with. Like,
That's
Robert
true.
Downey Jr. Most people probably would look at him, and if you had them say it, most people would say Tony Stark rather than Robert Downey Jr.
That's probably true. That's why people like Daniel Radcliffe are like, I'm gonna do that, like, you know, the Gunn movie where they take
like
guns to my
the
hand.
most bizarre. You can't even try to connect the dots for these characters because they're so different.
Yeah, but yeah, man, the James Gunn's in a really interesting and unenviable position where it's like, I've inherited these movies. I've inherited, like, make a new franchise, make a new universe. Okay, but you also have to get behind the movies we already made that are integrally connected to another universe. And also, if they do well, you have to use them in the new universe. Like, that is so unenviable. It's so, like, frustrating. And also, one of them that's headlining it is, at best, problematic. So, good luck with that too.
Yeah,
it's just super frustrating, and it's super, like, you know, what do you do in that situation? All you can say is, well, I guess we'll just wait and see. I mean, because the reality is, like, I am kind of in charge of the studio, but, like, I have bosses.
Yes,
and those bosses are saying, put Ezra Miller in the movie. So who knows?
Bosses and shareholders, because we all know that's really
a big deal for these people.
It really is. But
right.
I think that's all we can really go on this. For the rest of it, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This has been Sal. I am Dan. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Be sure to check out our sponsors, Into the AM, code Absolutely, and Gamer Subs, code Comics. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.